Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. It is I again, Geeter-Burns, enjoying and living my best life and learning every single day. And we're going to continue our Retro Bowl Detroit Lions saga of bringing home the Motor City their first world championship since 1957. So our next opponent is the Cleveland Browns, and we are going to play this game on medium since we beat Green Bay 35-14 on easy. And if you want to see what levels you played on, you simply tap on any of the games or anywhere on the yellow bar, and it'll show you the difficulty levels that you previously played in. Now, one other thing that I haven't shown you all is on the upper right hand corner where it says the year, it shows you your games that you previously played. Now, it shows you, for example, let's go to week one. The V means versus, which means you play the game at home. And it shows if it's a plus, that means that's how many points you won the game. So plus 12, I won the game by 12 points on medium. So you have hard, and then you notice the D5 and D8. So basically what that means is, as you can see, as the season wears along, the more we're winning. The D is a dynamic level. So it says that, okay, well, I'm not going to make it hard for D5 or dynamic level 5, but it's going to be harder than easy and a little bit harder than medium, but not as difficult as hard. Now, when you get to dynamic 16, it gets harder. So the more you win, the dynamic level goes up, and of course, the total points, point differential, that means that I've beaten my opponents by 110 total points so far. And then the code at the bottom, I'll get out of this screen, and as you can see, it changes colors, so it's easier to read. So at the bottom, it says 2 restarts, which means I had to reset the game while I played the game for whatever reason. And it has an 8-digit code. That code is for the, I guess for the creator and for tournament games and leagues. Now, let's check the uniform. So we'll go, of course, to the motor first, the Motor City. So we'll go ahead and stay with the Honolulu blue and silver colors. So we'll change the socks back 176 to F0, and then 176 to F0. Save it. And then for the Bears, the quote-unquote monsters of the Midway. So for the Bears, I believe that I cycled through all the jerseys. So what I was doing on my own was I cycled through every jersey at least every jersey color scheme that every team has ever worn. And the Bears have been playing for 100 years. And they have like a million gajillion uniforms. And I cycled through them all. And I believe that I'm done. So I'll go to the regular road jersey. Some people could go with the orange and blue socks. I don't do that. So when I do the socks, I do what the majority of the color is. So the socks are mostly white, and they have like the white or orange stripes or what have you. I'll just make them all white because I personally think it looks better. So the Bears, Cleveland, my mistake. There we go. So Cleveland has updated their uniforms. Are going to update their uniforms. So they're going back to some of their original schemes. So I'll just stick with the white on brown for their road uniform. This is already set up. But they basically did some minor tweaks. They got rid of the Cleveland on the side, so it looks a lot less robotic and generic. And they're going back to like the Bernie Kosar days and sprinkling in a little lineage from the Jim Brown days. So I personally like them. So we'll go ahead and play this game. And this is the rematch of this is the rematch. Now, the Cleveland Browns and the Detroit Lions have individually similar histories to where they struggled. They've had their struggles and they have their triumphs, but it's been so long since they've had their triumphs. Now, ironically, these are the last two teams that finished 0-16 in an NFL season. So I feel like right now the Cleveland Browns are making a little more progress than the Lions are, but the results are both the same. They both missed the playoffs last year and are both dealing with injuries. Now, typically I like to change the end zone color to like the main or the jersey color, but that's okay. Nothing to lose sleep over. It would be nice if you could put like the actual letters, like just Detroit or just DET in blue, but that's okay. So we're moving the ball pretty well. So I didn't have a chance to look at Cleveland's defense or pay attention to the record, but you're more than welcome to look back at it. Just rewind it. I'm not going anywhere. Touchdown. Forward down the field. Okay. I'm not going to do the fight song. No. So Cleveland responds right away. Now, sometimes you look at it and say, well, their defense only is this, but why do they score so fast or score so much? Any given Sunday, the computer can be very random, and if you're competitive like me, you'll think that they're cheating. But all in all, like, we can handle anything. They condition, we can take it. And Blake's continuing another spectacular catch. And that's the end of the first quarter. So we see another blitz. Oops. I was showing you the blitz from my finger that I used to control the game. So, second down. Let's get the ball up. All right, they missed the tackle, so this should be an easy 6. Yep. Now, I mentioned last week about the bootleg touchdown celebrations that you kind of have to make up on your own. You can go back to the previous video to watch that. And the videos, I created a playlist where you can see the games in order. But the previous game against Green Bay, I showed you some of the random touchdown celebrations that you kind of like Jimmy Rig or Jerry Rig. Is that what it's called? We call it something else, but I'm not going to use the N-word on YouTube. At least not on the public YouTube videos. So you kind of have to jerry-rig the touchdown celebrations. The only other jerry-rig touchdown celebration is if the wide receiver is diving for a touchdown catch. They'll like bend down and sit back up and then spike the ball, which looks weird. I think it's like a glitch, but it's like a cool glitch. But I'm not going to beat down on the creator. But it's just an observation. So the tight end's going to score. That's one of the bootleg touchdown celebrations. Because typically after they score, all they do is spike the ball. Now Cleveland's keeping it pretty close, despite being on easy. So we have to be very careful not to turn the ball over. All right, so we're going to pass it. Nothing really new to discuss as such. We're just enjoying the game and enjoying the conversation. Please hit the like button and the subscribe button so that you don't miss anything. And then for the current subscribers, you're more than welcome to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the videos that I present. And we'll be discussing a wide variety of topics throughout, and I will put them in playlists so that you're not scrambling through all the videos to see which one you need to look at. And put the lead back up. Oh, fumble. And then we're just going to try to get rid of the ball fast. Oops. Overthrew it, but he still caught it. 2nd and inches. We'll run it. And does he have daylight? Let's see. Oh. Let's see. Oh, he still got out of bounds. Or he got pushed out of bounds. Let's feed the beast. All right. So that'll end the 3rd quarter. Touch to continue. I think I'll do that. Detroit on the 14-yard line. And moving forward, I kind of slow down the indicators. So I'll just do an audible on purpose because I haven't done hardly any all season. So I'll go and scramble. Oops. Oh, no. Then we're just diving for the touchdown. Then we'll go for 2 just to entertain the crowd. And that's an easy 2. That's our first 2-point conversion of the season. Okay. Detroit kicks off. Cleveland has possession. They throw the ball. Interception. All right. We have it at the 25. So under normal situations and circumstances, we run the ball. Ice the clock because this game is pretty much in the bag. But of course, we have to focus on scoring points, so we have a flat. So we'll get it to the receiver. We don't have to worry about turnovers and a comeback. We pretty much have this one in the bag, so let's go ahead and just toss it. Oh, it picked off. If I threw it a little bit more, I think I would have overthrew it anyway, so who cares? So this game is pretty much set. That's only his 4th interception of the season, so we're doing very well. Minimizing turnovers shows in the win-loss record, so only 1 loss. The New Orleans game was abysmal. It was on hard. And we were without our starting running back, so we were shorthanded. And we were never able to establish, excuse me. We were never able to establish a running game, so it was in the bag, bro. So let's see what we're working on right here. Okay. And then we'll just walk it right in for another touchdown. To pad his stats, another extra point. Now, as of right now, you don't have the ability to fake extra point. There currently is not an option to fake extra points and field goals. So one thing that we did not do in the last video that I typically like to do every game or so, every 4 games, is show you like the overall standings around the league and point differential. So we'll look at that really quickly before we conclude this video. So our new DB Clark came in pretty quickly and showed an impact already. So of course, when it's a toss-up between praising the coach and praising the player, because the coach is a 1-star, I'm looking to hire a new defense coordinator anyway. The better your defense coordinator is, the better your the better that your non-star players are. So, looking at Clark, he had 12 tackles for his first game as a Lion, which is good. So everybody played pretty well ratings wise. So Hoyer had 28 pancakes, which is impressive. Nobody levels up this week. Now we're going to Chicago. So we're playing that game next week. So right now, looking at the NFC East, you don't have to play well, I see, to be in first place. And the NFC East is a weird division. Anybody can win it, but you don't have to play your best football to win it. Seattle and the Rams are tied. The Rams looks like they got it back together. Arizona is off to a great start. The whole NFC West is dominant. Hopefully San Francisco can turn it back around to get back to the Super Bowl. No, we don't, because we want the Lions to go to the Super Bowl. But in real life, I want the Lions to go to the Super Bowl, but they have to show me. Anyway, Carolina seems to have figured it out without Cam Newton. Now, I'm saying this hypothetically because there's no Cam Newton. There are no real NFL players in this game, as you can already see. But the teams are randomly generated. So you may see some dynasties, you may see some surprises. So looking at comparing the real life NFL, of course, the big surprise is Carolina. New Orleans is still pulling their weight. New uniforms, high expectations for the Falcons have not panned out. Tampa Bay is based upon the Tom Brady and Gronk add-ins are definitely the biggest disappointment in the NFC, probably the NFL. Minnesota is still doing well. Green Bay is still doing well. Chicago has a lot to prove in real life, but they're not doing it here. Dallas has a lot of work to do. The Giants are in a transition. Philadelphia is trying to figure everything out with their quarterback situation, health-wise. And the Washington football team, hope I didn't say Redskins. If I did say Redskins, I apologize for saying that. Moving forward, I will no longer say the R word. I will only say the Washington football team or just Washington. The Washington team is surprising people despite all the media scrutiny that they have endured. Now, you can take a look at a few of the defensive rankings. So as you can see, Detroit has the best defense now in the NFC. Not the best offense rank-wise, but we're pulling our own. Seattle is the most balanced team besides New Orleans. The Rams have the best offense in the conference. And the Giants have the worst defense in the conference. Chicago has the worst offense in the conference. So it shows in the win-loss records. Now, going to the AFC is a little more competitive. Actually, there's 4 7-2 teams and 2 5-4 teams. Outside of that, nobody's really pulling their weight. Buffalo and New England are playing very well. Buffalo had a lot of high expectations. Miami is trying to see what they're going to do with Tua. The Jets are a work in progress. The Chiefs are playing very well, as expected, and the new Las Vegas Raiders are finding comfort in their new digs in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Chargers are looking to rebound slowly but surely, and they have a chance to still make the playoffs. Had it been the current 17 format, they would be the 7th seed currently. Now, looking at the AFC East, now Cleveland, who we're facing, their offense is decent, but the defense is something to be desired. Baltimore is playing well. They have a 5-star offense. If this was symmetrical in real life, that's you know why they have a 5-star offense with their superstar quarterback Jackson. And then Tennessee, they came out of nowhere. They almost went to the Super Bowl. They gave Kansas City a run for their money, and it's showing in their offense. Now, Tennessee, based upon the updated color schemes that I implemented, based upon the color matching and the gridiron uniform database, shout out to them. They had some great color schemes. They probably had the best color schemes on Retro Bowl. When we look at Tennessee, if we play them during the season, we have the what conference are we playing this year? Oh, the AFC. We're playing the North. So to show you Tennessee really quickly, they have a lot of great color schemes that you put together. If you put them together, they look boss. So I'm not going to save it, but I'm just going to do. I'm not going to put the. That looks really nice. On the field, that looks really dope. But going back to the standings in the AFC, so Houston had a lot of expectations because they also gave Kansas City a run for their money. So, looking at everything, Cincinnati had better expectations, but everybody under Baltimore in the North is in a transition phase anyway, while Cleveland has the most expectations. The Buffaloes is a sleeper team. It's very interesting to see what they're going to do. And then in the playoffs wise, we have the playoff picture there. So we pretty much discussed the AFC playoff wise. A lot of 7-2 teams. And then of course you see Green Bay, Arizona at 6-3 is number 8 in the conference at 6-3. So it's showing you how competitive the NFC is. And it's weird to see Washington at 4-5 and seeing a 6-3 Arizona team not in the playoffs but in the hunt, which is totally weird. But that's the nature of the beast in division play. So it's going to be an interesting game against the Bears. Oh, we beat Cleveland, excuse me. It's going to be an interesting game against the Bears at Soldier Field. It's going to be on hard, so we're not going to sleep on them. And then we have some interesting division matchups. Now, Baltimore is going to be a huge test as well on the road. That's going to be our toughest game. Tampa Bay, based upon win-loss record, we should be easy there. And then we play the Bears again, and then we host Cincinnati, who isn't playing well. So we have a very easy schedule. Our schedule was pretty hard in the beginning. So New Orleans was tough. Carolina is strong. Minnesota is strong. So overall, I believe we have a very easy. We beat Arizona, who is 6-3. So we had a very moderate schedule for the most part. I wouldn't call it easy nor hard, but we only have one more hard game, or two more hard games to play. Week 12 against Minnesota and Week 13 against Baltimore. But we're gonna stay focused and do a one-piece flow and focus on Chicago right now. We don't want to skip Chicago because we do not want a loss, because New Orleans is on our tail. Well, not necessarily New Orleans, but do have a tiebreaker though against us. So Seattle and Carolina, we have to be careful with them. We don't play them this year, but they're in the thick of it. So let's see what happens during the next game. And again, I enjoyed you all. Great times. Please click the like button. Please subscribe. And please hit the bell icon for all notifications. You all have a great night or day or evening, and I'll talk to you soon.